On day 1 of my amazing 50-day journey, I spawned next to a spruce forest and into a plains biome, and a cow was walking right past me. But I decided to go over and break the tree that spawned right next to me. I was really excited for the next 50 days. So I did what any other Minecrafter would do in survival mode and started breaking my tree. I crafted the logs into planks and into some wooden tools, and started to get some stone. I'm progressing really fast. I also found some coal along the way, and I decided to grab that for future smelting. Then I decided to craft some stone tools, and I was ready to go on an adventure. But first, I needed to get some wood, so I headed over to the spruce jungle. But on my way there, I saw a ravine that I almost fell into, and it looked like it had a lot of iron, so I decided to hop into it and grab some iron. And here's a time lapse of it. I then boxed myself in with a few furnaces and started smelting my iron. I got a shield and I got a full set of iron armor and tools. And then I decided to head up to the surface, even though it was raining. And I had a close call when a creeper tried to blow me up, and I almost fell in with the creeper. I probably would have died there, but it's fine. Then I went over to the spruce forest and started chopping down some more trees. Once I was done with that, I killed a few animals and I cooked their food. And then I used the wool that I had and started to sleep. On day 2, I grabbed all my stuff, made a boat, and headed out on a journey. I was traveling for a long time until I found it. The village I would stay in for the next 50 days. It was beautiful. I loved it so much. I started running over, and I could not wait. And then I started to rate it. And I decided the next day that I would start to renovate this leatherworker's house. And that it would be my house for the rest of the 50 days. So, as always, I started renovating. I took out everything inside and outside, and I started to craft some chests to put all my stuff in, and then I started to tear down the walls, and here's the time lapse. So, here's the tour of the house. Here's the actual tour. But then I had an idea, and I needed a lot of dirt and a lot of shovels to collect that dirt. So, for my idea, I started to collect some dirt. Once I was done collecting the dirt, I started filling these areas that looked really weird, and I really wanted to fix them. So, here we go, with another time lapse. At this point, I did run out of dirt, so I had to get some more. But after I had all that dirt, I jumped down and I started working more on my project. But then, finally, after a lot of work, I could place the last block. 360 spin, and I did it. I placed the last block. I was so happy. That took so long. But I had to get right back to work the next day, starting a new cow pen. But I needed a lot of materials for this cow pen, so I crafted some slabs and some fences, and I took some hay bales from the villagers, and I started to decorate the cow pen. But I also needed a lot of cows for this, so I grabbed my leads and I went to go get some cows as they were all running behind me. I put them into the pen, took their leads off, and fenced them in. That's definitely not cruel at all. Yeah, definitely not. And then I bred them up for the first time ever. And then I got working on another building. It was just a small one, but it was still kind of important to me because I was going to be going into it a lot. And this shelter was actually a mine, and I think it looked pretty good in the end, but I definitely could have made some adjustments to it. But then I started to mine, and I wanted to get down to Y12, but before I could do that, I fell into this cave and ended up finding a zombie spawner, which is absolutely amazing. And this is just by chance. I ended up sleeping in the mine, and then the next day I started to mine to Y12 again. This was also the day I realized I was not in hardcore, which is kind of embarrassing because I've been playing for like 20 days already, and I still was not in hardcore and I didn't notice it. But I did end up turning the difficulty to hard, and I hope that makes up for it. And then I started to strip mine. And then I was stopped when I found this amazing vein of diamonds. It looked like 5 or 6, but I couldn't tell. So I lit up the surrounding area so no creepers would blow my diamonds up. And then I started to mine the diamonds. It only ended up being 4, but I think that's okay because I can find more. And that's what I did. The next day I found 3 more diamonds, but I decided not to mine them and to wait for fortune. So I dug up from that spot, and then I went to try to get an enchanting table and fortune on my pickaxe. And the next day, that's exactly what I did. I crafted a diamond pickaxe. And then the next day, I used that diamond pickaxe to go get some obsidian for an enchanting table and for a nether portal. And then the next day, I was greeted with some pillagers. And I think the iron golem had already killed a few of them. So they were really easy to kill. And I just went over and one-tapped them. And then I needed a book for the enchanting table I wanted to make. So I had to kill one of my cows, and then I made a book with their leather. That was a noble sacrifice, thank you. But with that, I was able to craft an enchanting table, and I was really happy about it. But in order to get the best enchants I could, I needed to make some bookshelves, and I needed to plant some sugarcane for that, and I needed to kill some cows for that. So, here's a quick cow killing montage. And then, after I'd killed all those cows, I made a total of 15 books with it. And then I decided to make a building for my enchanting table. So here's a time lapse of that. And personally, I think it looks pretty good. But anyways, I placed down the enchanting table, and I placed down all the bookshelves that I had. But I needed some levels, so I went down to my zombie grinder, and I made a farm with it. Unfortunately, I did not have a time lapse for this one because the footage was lost, but I got my 31 levels, and I enchanted. I started off with my diamond pickaxe, and the choice was efficiency 4. But I know you can get some other stuff. And I got efficiency 4, silk touch, and unbreaking 3. That's probably one of the best pickaxes you can get. And I was really happy. But I also knew I needed fortune 3 for those diamonds I had left earlier. So I went to enchant, and I saw the option was fortune 3. All I needed was 2 more levels. So I headed back down to my zombie grinder, and I killed a few. Once I had 30 levels, I headed back up to my enchanting table and got the fortune 3 option. And I got efficiency 4 with it. Unfortunately, I did not get unbreaking 3, but it's fine. I can just trade with villagers to get that. Knowing that I had fortune 3, I headed back to those 3 diamonds I left, and I grabbed them and hoped I got a lot. and I ended up getting 8 diamonds, which is actually amazing. I could craft a diamond chestplate with that, but I wasn't going to do that. I was going to craft a diamond sword. And with that diamond sword, I went to the enchantment table, but I didn't get sharpness 4, which is what I was hoping for. But on my bow, I did get power 4. But the bow was not at full durability, so I went and made a new one. And I enchanted it, and I got just power 4. Which wasn't the best, but I decided I wanted to try again. So I went and traded with some villagers to get up to level 30, and I did pretty quickly. And then I went back to the enchantment table, and I tried again on the bow, and I ended up getting flame. But along with that, I also got power 4, punch 2, and unbreaking, which is absolutely amazing. And I was really happy now that I had the perfect bow. But I wasn't done yet, so I went over to this unlucky sheep and shot it. And I one-shotted it with my bow, which is absolutely amazing. And it also cooked the food. For some reason, that made me want to go to the nether, so I made my nether portal, and I went in. It wasn't the best spawn in the world, but it could do. And it had a lot of quartz, which was the main reason why I went into the nether in the first place, to gather quartz and get levels. So that's what I did for the rest of the day. I also learned that I could one-shot ghasts. But after that cool trick shot, I decided to make a staircase down in hopes of finding another layer of the nether. And when I got to the bottom, that's exactly what I found. Another layer to the nether. That looked pretty nice and pretty big. But what I did for the rest of the day was gather quartz and gold to trade with piglins. And I ended up having a pretty close call here. When I went down to 4 hearts, I was pretty scared, but I ended up just trading my gold with him. And this is all the stuff that I got from all that trading. 7 pearls isn't that good, but it will do. Now, I wanted to go on an adventure, and I would make these gravel pillars along the way so I didn't lose my truck. Along the way, I actually ended up finding a bastion, so that's pretty cool, and I went in to raid it. I grabbed all the gold inside, and I plan to trade it with the piglins in the bastion. And I also ended up finding a pig step music disc, which would end up being one of my most prized possessions. And I found this cool room with 4 chests, and I found another scrap in there. So that's pretty cool, but that was the only good thing in all the chests, unfortunately. But after that, I just ended up leaving because I didn't want to leave behind any of the stuff because I had a full inventory. And this is all the stuff I got from my trip in the Nether. And for some reason, my trip in the Nether gave me an idea. But I wanted to trade all those crops I had just planted with some villagers, so I ended up making this villager hall. And now, here's a tour of my villager trading hall. And I think this is a good time to tell you the sponsor of this video. It's the like button. That's right, everybody. The like button is the sponsor of the video. And if you've made it this far, you should like the video anyway, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. By doing those things, you are telling me that you like this content and you want me to make more of this. But that's all from me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.